Okay, while I'm stretching this, I did end up having to cut it into the two pieces to get the neck right, and to have as little waste as possible, to use as much as possible. Um, while I'm stretching this out, I'll try to answer any questions that you might have. Uh, why don't I use the faster version of this? Because they take a table, a flat place, and I like to be portable. Go out on the porch, um, take it with me on long drives, watch TV or one of my programs on my phone while I do this. Um, Books on tape, perfect while you cut and cut and cut. Um, I love stand-up comedy. I listen to them. History things that don't have a lot of pictures to look at. I listen to that. So I try to keep busy and listen with my ears as well as my hands when I do this. Um, okay, what if you have a part that's really thin and you pull on it and it pulls apart? Well, trim off the really thin ends, tie it back together, nice and tight, and just keep going. If you pull it apart at a seam, cut those ragged seam edges off, tie it back together, and keep going. For those of you who don't want knots and you know how to use a needle and thread, just put a few stitches in it. I would have them going the long way, not the little short way, and that will also work. Be sure and use a thread that isn't too contrasty on it, unless you're doing something very colorful, in which it doesn't matter. Oh, there, see? Now I made that part too thin, and I do it. Oh yes, I do it. So I just tie it together, making sure those thin parts are on the tails. I cut it off, and I go back to stretching it out. Where do you get your t-shirts? Family and friends, yard sales if you can get them cheap, thrift stores if you can get them cheap, especially if they have like a fill the bag for $5 things. I will not spend $2 or $3 per t-shirt. That's me. If you want to, go right ahead. It's still cheaper than buying yarn. But if you get a t-shirt that's like all worn out on the front, well, cut it out and go ahead. Or you can make the strips where it's real thin, wider, so that when you pull, they roll several times. You can do that too. Some t-shirts, they got stains, they're ripped, and there's a point where you really can't use it to make yarn out of. But take it graciously. You can use it for stuffing, you can use it for rags, cleaning rags, sweat rags. I work outside a lot, and I live in Florida, so I sweat absolute buckets. So I go through 2 or 3 pieces of cloth or towel. But that's about it. Next time we meet, we will do a rug. I will see you then.